And there we go. So that's what we did last time when we actually were doing the notes, and we were practicing making these histograms or bar graphs, however you want to remember it. Okay. And then I had you guys try one with the utry example, and you guys listed out the class boundaries, and you started drawing out these ones, and I didn't do it because it was a utry, and you guys were supposed to do it. And it looked beautifully on the Pear Deck that I saw on there. Okay, so with that, we only have 2 more graphs to learn for this section, and I'm going to go ahead and get started right away. Right here is the first one, and hopefully you guys have your notes open. Wait, can I screenshot that graph? Sure. This one over here. This is from the will try from last time. Yeah. And if at any point you ever want to take a copy of this, right? Remember, all these notes are always posted online, and you can go and access them anytime you want. As long as you're logged in with your Sentinella account, you should have access to my OneNote and all the stuff that I write on here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. We're moving on to our next part right here, which is a frequency polygon. A frequency polygon. It's another way to graph your frequency distribution, but it's just basically a line graph, right? The frequency polygon is a fancy word for a line graph, right? Just like a histogram is a fancy word for a bar graph, a frequency polygon is not that fancy of a word, but it's just to talk about line graphs. And it emphasizes the continuous change in frequencies. So basically you can see like how much your data is growing or declining based off of the line graph that you draw. In the frequency frequency polygon, the horizontal axis, which is the x-axis, the one on the bottom, that consists of your midpoints. So remember we made those tables of your frequency tables. One of the things you have to fill out were the midpoints. One of the things you have to calculate. So those go on the bottom, and then the vertical axis, the y-axis, the one that goes up and down, is going to be your frequency, right? So this right down here, the MP stands for midpoints, right? And then over here on the y-axis is your frequency. Wow. Where's the y on that frequency? There. All right, so check this out. This is one that's already done for us, right? But I wanted to show you how the heck they made this. Okay, so in order for me to show you how the heck they made this, I need to go get the table from our first utry example. So give me 1 second. I'll scroll it right back down in a second here, but I need the first I'll do table. Where's the first I'll do table? The first I'll do table was this one right here. I'm going to screenshot this real quick and bring that down for us to see, and we'll see how they ended up getting that stuff right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to screenshot everything, just that part. Bring it down here, back to this example right here, and let me show you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to paste this ginormous thing. And then I should have did this earlier, but you know, it's going to be very tiny to see. And again, you could just go back to your own notes to see it, but I just wanted to show you how this works. So that's going to be a little tiny, but that's okay. That's okay. We're okay with this. So here we go. So how does this work? Well, to make these frequency polygons, all you need are the midpoints and the frequencies. So check this out. The first midpoint, right, is 0. I don't know why they started at 0.5, but it's basically 0. Okay, on this chart, because it's, you know, our first class starts at 7 to 18, and take a look right here. Our first midpoint is 12.5. That's this guy right here. You see that? And at 12.5, it has a frequency that we counted of 6. So at 12.5, you just go up to 6 and you make a dot, right? Where was it before that? What was the frequency before that? The frequency before that was 0, and that's why that dot down here is at 0. Okay? And then I go on to the next one. The next dot, the next midpoint is going to be, let's do this in blue, is 24.5. That's right here, and that has a frequency of 10. So I go up to 10, and I make a dot right above that. And then all I do after I make those dots, so I do that for the next one as well. The next one is 36.5. That's this midpoint right here. Has a frequency of 13. I make a dot up there. Once you do that and you make all these dots for all the midpoints of this table, right? That's a dot, that's a dot, that's a dot, right? Once you make all these dots, then you just connect all the dots together and you form your line. Your last one will not always end at 0. It might end up somewhere else. What all you have to do is just connect the dots. Boom, 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 boom. And that's your frequency polygon, right? Frequency polygon is basically your bar graph, except you don't have to draw bars. You just connect the dots together, right? And that's it. That's all you got to do for that one, okay? I'm going to open up a Pear Deck for you guys to draw this one out so you guys can, it'll be easier for you to draw and then you can take a screenshot of it. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me make the link here. I'll put that into the chat. You guys can go to this Pear Deck right here. And again, if you don't like going through that link, you can go to joinpd.com. And the access code for that is AJL UOP. If you want to do it that way, you can join through joinpd.com and use that right there. I'm going to take off the join code, and then you guys can go ahead and get working on it with me. Right? Working on that with me. So give me a second here. I have to go ahead and copy the graph of the frequency polygon of the wheel do. So give me 1 second. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it into here. I'm going to make that right there and make this a little bit, hello? I can't click on you? What? Oh, it's lagging. Oh my. Okay, so anyways, in order for us to do this, we need the chart from the wheel do that we did last time, right? So you have that in your notes, but I can also just bring it up. Ah, there we go. Okay, you were lagging hard there for a second. So we did this in our notes earlier. I'm going to bring the table down so then I can copy it down and get it onto this graph right here. So we need to go to the wheel do table. All right, where's my wheel do? Here it is, the wheel do example with the midpoint and the frequency and the class. So I just want this part right here. I don't really care about the relative frequency right now or the cumulative frequency, because to make the frequency polygon, all you need is the midpoints and the frequency, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot this. You don't have to copy down the table, guys. Technically, when we did this in class, you're supposed to just go back and forth on the pages. I'm just being lazy. I don't want to go back and forth on my pages because it's a little laggy right now. So I'm gonna put that right here, and we'll just use this to help us, okay, to make our frequency polygon. Okay, so this is all we need, by the way, to make a frequency polygon. You just need the midpoint and how high does it go, right? So the first midpoint is 9.5, right? I'm sorry, 19.5. So the first midpoint is 19.5 and has a frequency of 16. So 19.5 is right about here, right? That's about 19.5, right? And it has a frequency of 16, so I just go up to 16 and just make a dot. Like that. Boom. And that's my first point. That's done. Okay? That's my first point. My second point, let's do this one in blue, just so we can differentiate. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, guys. My computer's being dumb. Why you be so dumb? Come on. There we go. So my next one, let's do that in blue, is going to be 29.5. That's about right here, 29.5. And then I count out the frequency for that one. The frequency for that one is 34. Okay, the frequency for that one is 34. So that's going to go all the way up to here. 35 is up there. 34 is right below it. So I'll make a dot there. See that? And you just keep doing this. You just keep doing the dots for all of these midpoints and all of these frequencies. Right? The next one is going to be 39.5. That's this guy right here. So I mark that as 39.5. And that has a frequency of 30. That goes all the way up to, oh, I'd say about there. Right? And you just keep going. Keep going. Next one's 49.5. That's this guy right here. 49.5. And that has a frequency of 23. That's going to go up to about here. And you'll say, Nakami, how is this any different from us drawing our bar graph? And I say, it's not that much different. It's actually pretty much the same thing, right? If I were drawing the bar graphs, I would just connect this and I would expand this out and expand that out to make my bars, right? But instead of making a bar graph, since it's a frequency polygon, all I need to do is just connect the dots and draw a line all the way through. Next one up Let's keep going here. This next one is 59.4. That's this guy right here. 5, I'm sorry, 59.5. That has a frequency of 13. And that's going to be about 10, 11, 12, 13. That's about right here, I would say. And then the next one is 69.5. 69.5. That's about right here. And that has a frequency of 2. That goes right about there, right? 79.5 has a frequency of 0. 79.5 has a frequency of 0, so that would just be at the very bottom part at the axis down here. And then 89.5 has a frequency of 1. 89.5 has a frequency of 1. So 89.5 is right about here. 89.5, and it has a frequency of 1. So I have all my dots drawn now, right? I have all my dots drawn now. So now all I have to do is just connect the dots. So I just connect this dot to the one before it, connect this dot to that one, connect this dot to that one, pretend that my lines are straight. You guys have a straight line feature, so you could use that to connect your dots. Now here's the last part. Where do you make that first dot? And this is the part that some people are split on. I like to draw my first dot at 0, 0 and connect it there like this. A lot of people like to connect it so it matches with the patterns of the numbers that you have here. And what I mean by that is, you see how this is 19.5 and 29.5, 39.5, 49.5? Some people like the first dot to follow that same pattern. So instead of going all the way to 0, they'll draw it at 9.5. That way it follows the pattern of all the other dots, and they connect it there. Which way is the right way? Technically, the way that most people like it is this one. I would connect it to 0 just because it's easier. I accept both. So either one that you guys decide to draw will be acceptable. And that's your frequency polygon, right? This is your frequency polygon. I can't spell frequency. Frequency polygon. Oh, it's like right there. Yeah. So I don't know. Is that pretty easy? Or is that difficult? Or it's the same exact thing as your bar graph, it's just now you draw lines. What do you guys think? Is that okay? How do you feel? I have 9 of you guys who've attempted to draw the dots. Out of only 12 of you who joined into the Pear Deck. What's going on here? There's 31 of you guys. And you go to left to show the table. Of course, there you go. I did it in my notebook. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. As long as you have it, that's fair. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this again and put that into the chat. It just makes it easier for you to put in your notes, honestly, guys, or for you to practice drawing this, right? I mean, I guess you could practice drawing it on your Cami as well, but then you don't have the graph on there. But yeah, you could just hand draw your graphs too as well. You don't have to make it like this. I was trying to make it look nice for you guys. I'm on the Pear Deck, but it keeps giving me a blank page. Oh no, that's just lag then. Visual. So yeah, that could just be lag on your side. So you might have to just, you too, Kennedy? All right. So you might just have to do it by hand then. Well, yeah, you were having issues with the Cami assignment as well. Yeah, if it's lag, then refreshing it will just cause it to lag more. That just means that your internet's not able to handle all that's going on. Yeah. You might want to do a speed test on your internet once this class is done and just see how fast your download speed is. Although then again, it doesn't help you if you find out of it, but it could tell you if that is the case. And if that is the case, then we have to find other ways to work it out. Oh, your dad did the speed test. So is it not the speed? It's not the internet speed? Could be something else then. Then if that's the case, I don't know what it could be. Okay. We got to figure this out then. Something's causing your stuff to slow down. Could be packet loss. Yeah, that could be another thing, Matthew, as he's saying, but I don't know how we would fix that. Old router, old modem. Mr. Rodriguez, I don't know if you guys know who Mr. Rodriguez is. When we went back to teaching at home, he found out his router was too old. So I didn't know that this could happen, but his router was too old. So his website that he was trying to go to was blocked on his computer, but no one else's. So he gave us the link. We were able to open it with no problem. He's like, what the heck is going on? And then he found out that his router was too old and it couldn't, I didn't know that it could do that, but it would block him from going to the website that he needed to go to. But it could be a lot of different things. We'll try to figure that out. But for right now, since you can't get through all that, you can just go ahead and take a screenshot of this one right here. Were you guys able to get all the numbers down from the table? If not, you could just copy down these numbers right here on the bottom here. And then I'll put the values of each of these as they go up. So I'll put the values of the frequencies as well. So let's see here. This one was 16 right here, and this one was 34. This one was 30. This one was 23. This next one was 13, 2, 0, and 1. When you draw a frequency polygon, you don't need to write the numbers down. I replaced both of mine a few months ago. Yeah. Did it help, Matthew? Did it help with your connections and stuff once you replaced it? Hopefully it did. But yeah, this is it. Yeah, it did. Awesome. All right. Hopefully you guys have this down. I see it beautifully done. I'm assuming that you guys were able to draw it out. I see the dots now on your charts. I see the lines on some of your charts. Very beautifully drawn. Yeah, very beautifully drawn. I like the different colors you guys are picking there. It did. A few weeks ago, my packet loss would jump to max for like 3 weeks straight, and then it just stopped. Huh. Yeah, wish I knew more about IT to help you with why that happens, but I have no idea myself. It sounds crazy though. Sounds crazy. All right. I'm gonna unlock the Pear Deck for you guys right now. So you can go on, if you're still working on this one, you can stay on this one, but I'm gonna unlock it so you guys can go on to the U-Try. How much time I got? Oh, I got 10 minutes. I lied. I'm gonna have to go a little bit faster because we only have 10 minutes here. So we're gonna skip this U-Try for now. But I do suggest that you give it a shot and attempt it. Try this one on your own. And for the U-Try, you're supposed to be using the U-Try table, which was this one right here. You're supposed to be using this table right here for the U-Try. So there's the midpoints right there. There's the frequency. Just make the line graph just like we did for the Will-Try, right? So that's all the frequency polygon is. The frequency polygon is just a line graph, right? It's just a line graph, right? Make sure you have that down, that a frequency polygon is just a line graph using the midpoints and the frequencies, okay? And then we're going to move on to this last one. I know that it seems like I'm going a little fast, and I am, but we're going to run out of time here. So I got 10 minutes left here. So the last one here is called a cumulative frequency graph, the cumulative frequency graph. Whoops, Vivian. I'll go there real quick. There you go. All right. So the last one is a cumulative frequency graph, and it's another line graph, right? Except it's just like what the name of it says. It's going to be using the cumulative frequency instead of the frequency or the relative frequency, okay? So it's just like this line graph that I'm showing right here for the one you were using for the U-Try. We haven't done that one yet. I didn't finish it. Or was it this one? Oh, was it this one? I don't know which one you need, because this is the last one we did, which is this one right here, which is the Will-Try. But we didn't do anything after that yet. The numbers we were using for the frequency polygon. Oh, the table. These numbers right here on the U-Try. Gotcha. That's this one right here. So go ahead and screenshot that. Yeah, the table. There you go. Let me know when you got it. Thank you. I'm assuming you got it. Hopefully you did. Okay. All right. So back over here. No worries, no worries. Back over here, this is the last chart I'm going to teach you guys for this section, which is the cumulative frequency graph. And for the cumulative frequency graph, they call it an I can never say this right. It's an ogive. It's not ogive. It's pronounced ogive, right? The ogive line displays the cumulative frequency for each of the class and its upper boundaries. So the only thing that makes this different is that you don't use the frequency. You instead use the cumulative frequency. So take a look here, right? So they use the upper class boundaries, right, for each of these numbers, not the midpoints, the upper class boundaries. And then they use the cumulative frequency along the way. They just add it up along the way, right? So right here, if you remember, the cumulative frequency for this thing was 50 because there was a total of 50 people, 50 people that you surveyed. But you also could be using it as the decimal values, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys, if you're on the Pear Deck, I'm going to open this up right now and turn on student pace, meaning that you can change to whatever slide you need to go to. And I'm going to ask you guys to go to slide 17 if you're not done with your polygon graph yet. If you are done, go to slide 17. If you're not done, stay on 15 and finish it. But go down to slide 17, and then I'm going to copy the graph from there, and I'm going to put that onto here as well. So we'll do the will do together right now. So give me 1 second. I'm going to paste this on here. And I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And if you look closely, do you see the numbers on the side right there? The numbers on the side are decimals right now. They're numbered 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, all the way up to 1, because we're going to be using the cumulative frequency, which are all decimal values. So let me go ahead and copy that down from earlier. Oh, God. I hope you don't lag. I think you're going to lag. Yeah, I think you're going to lag. But let me copy it down anyway. So this is the table. I'm going to copy right now and then bring it down. So I need all this. So I should have not been lazy and just been writing these down along the way. But, you know, what are you going to do? So let me go ahead and paste that into here and move you over to here. So there we go. So to make the frequency polygon or the ogive, I'm not going to have enough time to do this, but let me show you what we're supposed to do. Right? So for this one, we would be using all the numbers in the, what is going on? Hello? Not only do I not have enough time, my computer likes to lag when I'm desperate on time. So what the heck? All right. So we're going to have to finish this up as best we can. Nothing wants to load. It's a sign. It's not a sign. We're fine. We'll get through this. Yo, it crashed hard. Oops. Why do things be like this sometimes? Why do things be like this sometimes? All right. Here we go. So hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work. So for this ogive, or this frequency, cumulative frequency graph, right? Is that what they're calling it? It's the cumulative frequency graph, or the ogive. You're going to be using the cumulative frequency and the upper class boundaries. So do you guys see this? Is it like tripping out for you guys? My highlighter is like going crazy. Huh. All right. So we're going to be using those values, right? And it's just the line graph, just like the other one, except instead of using the frequency, you just use the numbers that are under the cumulative frequency. And instead of using the midpoints, we use the class boundaries. So the first one up is 24.5 right here. And that's the first one up. 24.5 is like right there. And then the cumulative frequency is 0.1345. So you see this is 0.1, this is 0.2. So 0.13 is right about here, right about here. And you don't have to be perfect about it, right? That dot right there represents 0.1345. And again, The next one up is going to be 34.5, which is right here. So this is 24.5. This is 34.5. And that's going to have a cumulative frequency of 0.42. So 0.4 is right there. 0.42 is a little bit higher than that. That's about right. Whoops. That's about right there. That's going to be 0.4202. Right? And all I'm doing is just writing these down. And then, again, we're just going to connect those out. And I just looked at the time, and we're not going to have enough time to finish this one. So I'm going to stop there. I have to get frustrated with myself because I really wanted to finish this section already. It's been like 3 days, and we are not done with this. But that's all this one is. It's just using the class boundaries and using the cumulative frequency and then connecting it out. And in fact, you know what? We're just going to have to stop it there. And we will do this on Wednesday, sadly. But anyways, when you come out on Wednesday, be ready for a quiz. It's not going to be on these graphs right here. It'll be still on the tables that you've done in the past. So if you want to review, you can look back at the previous quiz that you've answered before. And we'll just do another quiz that's going to be like that. So come in ready on Wednesday to answer some basic questions. I'll make the quiz super easy. And then we'll finish up these graphs together on Wednesday, okay? And that's going to be it for today, guys. I don't have enough time to keep going, so I want to make sure you have enough time to get to your next class, all right? So have a good rest of your day, guys. I'll see y'all on Wednesday, all right? So long, guys. Have a good one.